So I had this crazy idea. It was a walk and talk, because I just got this camera and it's waterproof. It's always rainy and crappy outside. But I figured I could do like a podcast or something like that. And instead of just like me talking, sitting in a room or just listening to the audio, I thought maybe it'd be kind of a cool idea if, you know, I just went for a walk and talked to the camera. And then you could see everything around me. There'd be stuff to look at, you know, stuff. Nothing particularly interesting just yet, but depending on where I walk, also gets me some exercise too. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna give this a shot and see what happens. But hi, I'm Jay Byrne. This is the Effects Loop, and this is Walk and Talk with me. You know, I feel like an idiot walking down the street just holding the camera in front of my face, but I guess lots of other people do it, so what the hell. There's a huge old cemetery down the street from my house in New Bedford, Massachusetts. That's a cool looking cemetery, and it's generally quiet and there isn't a lot of cars and people around, so should be able to pick up my voice a little bit better and whatnot. I'm just about there, actually. As a matter of fact, you can see it. There it is, right there. They've got the gate kind of blocked off over here for now. Anyway, I was talking about digital versus analog. And the biggest complaint with digital and analog is the feel. A lot of people complain that it doesn't feel the same when you're playing like a digital amp. Like it doesn't feel the same as a real tube amp. There's a more of an immediacy, here we go, to solid state. So, you know, when you hit a chord, it's immediately coming out of the speakers, as opposed to if you were playing a tube amp, there's almost like a split-second delay that adds like a sponginess to the sound. It's interesting, but that's what happens. So I personally don't have that much of a problem with digital or analog. I like tube amps. I think tube amps are really cool and they sound amazing, but they're just too loud for me personally. For my ears, I find them way too loud, and it just hurts my ears because my ears are kind of a mess. So I have a hard time doing stuff like that with tube amps. But, you know, that's why I went the digital and the modeling route to begin with. Give you a shot here of the cemetery so you can actually see where I am. It's kind of a cool looking place. This is an old school cemetery. Very old school cemetery. But yeah, so I guess if I had my ultimate choice, it would be to have some kind of solid state or digital modeling gear that really captures the feel of an analog tube amp. But there's always some trade-offs. It's never exactly the same. It always feels a little bit different. Something different about it anyway. I think that the Line 6 stuff and the fractal stuff is like studio quality. Like I've never actually played a fractal, but I know that many musicians, you know, like Metallica uses fractals live. They play live with fractals. I'm pretty sure Ghost probably uses fractals now. I mean, because you don't see amps on stage with Ghost. They were using orange amps for a while, but I just don't think that they're actually doing that anymore. I think to me it sounds like they're using some sort of modeling, but it doesn't sound bad. It sounds perfectly fine, actually. But yeah, I'm sure there are tons of other artists that do it. There are professional artists that use Line 6, that use the Helix. I had a Helix myself for a long time, and it was okay. Actually, I had the mini one there, the can't even remember what it is, the Line 6, you know, the small one. It's like a pod, not the pod, but it's a Helix, but it's the little one. I forgot the name of it. And it sounded like crap. It needed buffers in the signal so that it didn't turn your sound to like mud, because everything sounded like mud. Like clean tones were muddy. Actually put a buffer like before and after it, and it made it sound a million times better. Like a million times better. The LT, I had a Helix LT for a while, and that thing didn't sound bad at all. That thing sounded really good. You got a little bit of tone suck when you plugged into it, but it sounded really good. It wasn't the same type of thing as like with the other one. Here, I'll give you another view of the cemetery here, since we're in here, so you can see. There you go. I'm not exactly sure how old the cemetery is, but I know there are definitely gravestones that are like from like the 1800s and stuff. That's kind of cool. So yeah. So how do I feel about digital versus analog? I keep going back to that. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I feel like they can both be used, you know? One will be a good tool for a certain situation, and another one will be a good tool for a certain situation. This isn't the most insightful conversation, I know, but this is kind of the beginning of an idea. I'll get a little more comfortable doing this as time goes on, but plus it's kind of cold and murky out today. Fits the cemetery though, because it's like kind of dark and grimy and cool. I'll walk you over here so you can actually see this old building, which is kind of neat. Yeah, I figure what I'm going to do with this series of videos is I'll talk about guitars and stuff and amps and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll go to different areas that are a little scenic, you know, show some shots, kind of like travel logs in a sense, but like, you know, with me doing like a podcast talking about guitars and amps and stuff, so that it fits into the effects loop and it works with the channel. And it helps that this camera is very portable and can do that, because the other camera is a little bit bulkier and doesn't quite work that way. So let's see, do we have any other subject here that I can talk about for today? Like, I don't know, the whole digital versus analog thing seems played out to me. I feel like it doesn't really matter. I mean, right now, both of my amps, actually all three of my amps, are essentially digital, and they include modeling. And I thought I cared at one point in time, but I kind of don't anymore, because the benefits, having the attenuator and having, you know, different tones and at my fingertips, being able to plug them directly into a recorder, and they've got built-in like emulators and stuff, speaker emulators that sound amazing. So nobody cares when they hear the music. It doesn't affect them. But here, I'll show you this place. This place is cool. Check it out. I don't know what this is, but it's a cool little building here in this cemetery. It's like a mausoleum or something, but it's kind of neat. Yeah, pretty cool. It's closed up. You can't get in there because I'm sure somebody at some point in time did something stupid. But all right, I'll take you down over this way. There's some cool stuff over here that I can show off to while I'm just gabbing on. So let's talk about guitars. All right, let's talk about guitars. It's like one of my other series. But let me talk about the very first guitar that I ever had. My very first guitar was a Washburn. It was a red Washburn LTD something. I'm not sure exactly what the model is. It was essentially meant to be a SUPERSTRAT. At the time, I didn't even know what a SUPERSTRAT was. To me, that was just a guitar. Because, I mean, I grew up in the era of heavy metal and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And all the artists that I watched during that time period, they all played SUPERSTRATs, I guess. They all played that type of guitar. And it never really fazed me, you know? I didn't think about it. I mean, I always wanted a Les Paul because I was fans of Slash and Jimmy Page and stuff like that. But to me, it was like the guitar I had or a Les Paul. I didn't even think about Strats. Strats weren't a thing. They weren't like an immediate thought to me, you know? I didn't really... I mean, I eventually had a Strat because my wife, she had a Strat and she doesn't play it. So it became my Strat, in essence. Well, our Strat. And I play it, and it got me used to having a Strat. And I liked having a Strat. But, yeah. Now I kind of like Strats. They do a thing, you know? Strats can do that, like, neck pickup thing, which sounds really kind of nice. But, my first guitar, I don't think I ever used the neck pickup on my first guitar. It was always just the humbucker, and that was it, you know? But, yeah. Any cool gravestones over here I can show you? I'll bring you over here and I'll show you this. This is kind of neat. These are pretty old gravestones, as if I can tell. Yeah, 1850. This stuff is pretty old. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? These old school graveyards, these cool, creepy old school graveyards. You can see for yourself what it actually looks like out here. There's a cool little mausoleum up ahead. I'll walk over to that and I can show you that. It's getting a little dark, so probably gonna have to stop this soon. However, this is a first try on this, so bear with me if this is a little boring and a little dumb. I'll try to, you know, get a little better with it as time goes on. We put some music behind it or something, right? So it's not just me walking around talking with nothing else going on. I am going to head over here because this is where that mausoleum is. I actually shot a movie, a horror movie down here, and we filmed a lot over in this area. It's a movie called Hometown. It's a cool movie, you should check it out. It's on Roadkill Entertainment if you're interested. I did all the music for it. I played, you know, kind of like instrumental guitar rock in it, which is pretty cool, I think. But yeah, I feel like I'm in like an Amicus film from like the 60s. This feels like a 60s European horror film in this place today. But all right, let's go over to this place and I'll show you this place. This place is kind of cool. And there's another one over there too. Getting a little winded. But anyway, back to the guitars. Kind of getting off track here. Yeah, red SUPERSTRAT, Washburn red SUPERSTRAT. That was my very first guitar. And I had that thing for a long time. It never got set up. I never adjusted the neck. I'm amazed I could play it, to be honest with you. After all this time now I know how to set up guitars and I kind of know what to do with them, at least generally speaking, it amazes me that I played that guitar for years. We're talking like 4, 5, 6 years without ever having it set up. I mean, I changed the strings. I did that frequently, but I never set anything up. Maybe it just had a really good neck, who knows. This place is cool. We shot here for the movie Hometown. I'll turn around so you can see. This little mausoleum thingamajiggy here. Lewis. We called one of our characters Harold Lewis. Actually, it was this big pentagram thingy because we filmed here. It's getting a little chilly out here, so I think I'm gonna start heading back. But I think get to see some of the cool sights of this old, creepy old cemetery. But it's getting a little chilly out here. There's somebody behind me? Huh. That's creepy. It sounded like there was somebody behind me. There are a couple other people in the graveyard that I can see roaming around now, but it's generally just me. This is right down the street from my house. I used to come here and go for walks like all the time. I keep veering off, kind of subject hopping, but maybe that's what this thing is going to be. Kind of a vlog where I subject hop, who knows, right? But yeah, I eventually had to get rid of the red strat, the red superstrat, the Washburn, the red Washburn. I'm sure it was inexpensive. I got it for Christmas. Was it Christmas? Christmas or a birthday? I got a guitar. My dad bought it for me. My parents bought it for me, and I'm pretty sure it couldn't have been that expensive. It was probably like, I don't know, at the time, probably like a $400 or $500 guitar. And yeah, I played that thing to death. I beat that thing up. At a certain point, I decided that I wanted to repaint it and try to rebuild it, in essence. I took the whole thing apart. Baggied everything. I like inventoried everything. I kept every little piece. I tried to sand the body, but I could not get that poly finish off. Like, I don't even know if I could do it now. I was like hand sanding it too. It was pretty brutal. And yeah, I tried, but couldn't do it. And then I bagged everything up, and then when I moved to Chicago, I put everything in my parents' attic. And sometime within the 6 years I lived in Chicago, my parents decided it was trash and threw everything away. They threw the body away. The only thing I still have is the neck. I brought it back to the house. I still have the neck. It's at my house. I think I used a picture of it in a video that I made about my amps or something. One of my videos on here has a picture of it somewhere. But that was it. Man, that thing was shot. Like I said, I'm amazed it still played. But yeah. So I think we're gonna call this quits because my brain is getting empty, and you've seen a lot of the cemetery and some stuff, and try not to keep this too long so that way maybe nobody will actually want to listen to it. Who knows? Maybe you guys will like it. Whatever. That's the thing with this YouTube thing. You know, I started this a couple months back, and I've gotten some pretty good subscribers so far, and I got a lot of videos up, I'll tell you that. Quite a few already, like 50 videos or something up already. More than that, I think. But it's weird because like you shoot all this stuff and then you start running out of ideas. You need to kind of come up with creative ideas to keep making more videos. And YouTube's algorithm is unique because if you keep pumping videos out, somehow you keep getting subscribers and views. Like it just does it. YouTube does the work for you. But you got to keep pumping out the videos. And I want my videos to be entertaining, you know, maybe teach a little something, but you know, do what they're supposed to do. Be entertaining, teach you a little bit. And I'm trying to shake it up a little bit. I know I have a good handful of videos that have done pretty well. The videos I did about the my individual guitars, I have one left that I can do. But I mean, those did really well. They got like 10,000 hits, which for me is huge. I mean, I've never had anybody paying this much attention to my stuff before, like, which is awesome. But, you know, it only works on certain things. You do that and then you get one video that gets like 10 hits. One's got like 10,000, one's got 10. It's really hard to figure it out, you know? I didn't mean this to be a YouTube chat, but I figured I could add that in there and let anybody know who's thinking about trying to do this. It's a lot of work. You're gonna be busy. And I mean, as of right now, my main computer died and I've been using a laptop I got from my sister, which is working okay, but it's a bit laggy. I'm looking into getting a new computer. I might get an iMac, probably get an iMac mini or something like that. I don't need anything fancy. I just need a couple cameras and a decent computer to edit, and I can do what I'm doing. I mean, it's really all you need. So yeah. So anyway, I'll give you one final shot of the cemetery here. I don't know if you can see too much from where I'm standing, but here we go. That's where I am. I'm in New Bedford, Massachusetts. I am at, not even sure what the name of the cemetery is. but it's a cool cemetery. Cool old cemetery. Yeah. But anyway, if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, shoot me a message, let me know. Yeah. Leave me a comment. I'm sure if you click the little notification bell, you'll get notified if I have a new video. I'm gonna be juggling up the content a little bit. We're gonna be having some more podcasty, talky stuff, but I'm also gonna have plenty of playing videos, so don't worry about that. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. I'm Jay Byrne. This has been the Effects Loop walk and talk. So today was a walk and talk. Take care.